folks, it's Jim, it's Julie, it's episode 247 of Geeking Out. We are 3 or 4 weeks away from episode 250, and we still have no clue what we're going to do for it. But today, we have 8 comic reviews for you, so let's start off with the prequel to Thor, The Dark World.
Hey guys, so this is Thor the Dark World Prelude number 1 of 2, and in this one, with the Bifrost obliterated, the other worlds of Yggdrasil are slowly falling apart. The only thing that will allow them to rebuild the Bifrost is the Tesseract.
Which is in the hands of someone else right now.
Exactly. So Odin sends Thor off to retrieve said Tesseract, and Loki for that matter. This is wonderful for anybody who, like me, when they watched the Avengers, had lots of questions regarding Thor.
Yep.
It clears up every single one of them. So, I highly recommend if you are a Thor fan, or even if you just enjoyed the movies, or if you know somebody who liked the movies but had questions, this answers all of them. And the art's nice, the storytelling is nice, it's a good book all around. So, go pick it up.
Alright, next up, we have the Westwood Witches. Try and say that 3 times fast.
Westwood Witches, Westwood Witches, Westwood Witches. Yes!
Alright, and in this one, Jack is a successful writer, but he suffers from writer's block. So he decides to go back to his old neighborhood in Westwood. Not knowing his neighbors are real witches, you know, the kind that kill anyone who would disturb Westwood.
Oh dear.
So, this is an interesting book. Conceptually, it's pretty sound. It's a bit flawed in the execution, of course.
Why do you say that?
It just kind of bounces all over the place. That's all. The art is nice. I think we were disagreeing on this a little while ago. I think it would look better in black and white with some color splashes here and there.
And I enjoyed the sepia tones with color accents that they've done.
Yeah. But it's not bad art. We're not going to say that. It's quite good.
I quite enjoyed it.
I just think it would have worked better in black and white with some color splashes here and there. But I still enjoyed it. And it's a really dark story with an interesting cast of characters who you really don't get to know too much over the story, but it really compels you to read on as well, because they're just interesting characters who you're not sure what's going to happen to them, or who they really are, or are they working with the witches, are they not working with the witches, that kind of thing. So I quite enjoyed it. So if you want to check out something a little different, check this one out. It's pretty fun.
Alright, next up for me, Kick-Ass 3. And may I just say that the title did not disappoint. Now, I'll warn you guys, I'm coming into this a little blind. I've only seen the movie, and that was once, I think.
And I only worked on the sequel movie, so...
But, that said, I didn't feel lost picking it up. So, with Hit Girl in prison, it falls on Kick-Ass and his team to rescue her by following the very detailed plans that she has left. But is he really up to the task of being leader while she's imprisoned?
Dear Kick-Ass, break me out of prison. Signed, Hit Girl.
Pretty much, yeah. So,
P.S. Kill anyone who gets in your way. In the bloodiest way possible.
I really enjoyed this book. There wasn't a whole ton of blood and gore. There was lots of...
That's coming, don't worry.
Yeah,
It's a Kick-Ass book, it's coming.
That's okay. I still enjoyed this one. And I think if you have been a longtime fan of Kick-Ass, or if you're a new fan of Kick-Ass, that you're going to enjoy it. So, check it out.
Alright, next up, we have Half Past Danger. Which I'm not sure which time of the day that is, but I'm sure we'll find out sooner or later. In this one, on a remote island in the South Pacific in the summer of 1943, Flynn and his squad come face to face with creatures long thought dead.
So they found the Savage Lands?
Kinda, yeah, you know, dinosaurs. And who doesn't love dinosaurs?
I love dinosaurs.
I do too, especially when they eat lawyers and various other people. But, yeah, it's never really explained how the dinosaurs are there or how they got there and stuff. So it's an interesting little hole. But I kept going through this thing going, where do they come from? Is this going to be explained? And it's like, it's not explained in this one at least. I'm sure it will be explained later, but I still had fun with it. Anytime you get a really good World War II story and you put in dinosaurs, I think it's going to be a fun time. And you got Nazis being eaten by dinosaurs too, so hey, there's more to love about it. So, I had a lot of fun with this one. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Rocketeer, Dave Stevens style almost.
Okay.
But with more dinosaurs, so it was kind of also a Cadillacs and dinosaurs type feel.
And who doesn't love dinosaurs?
Yeah, it was kind. I just enjoyed it. It was a fun little romp, and it was a fun story with fun characters. So, if you're a fan of dinosaur tales or anything like that, and you don't want to have to read the new
dinosaur tales.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. We're terrible. Anyway, this was a fun story, and I had a lot of fun reading it. And the art's not too bad. So if you're a fan of just really fun World War II stories that are inexplicable in their premises, this is going to be for you. I had a lot of fun with it.
All right. Next up for me is Daredevil, Dark Knights #1 of 8. And in this one, the eastern seaboard of the U.S. has been hit by the storm of the century.
Not again.
Yep, again. Essentially causing whiteout conditions all the way from New York down into Bethesda.
Well, probably New York deserved it.
However, what this means for Daredevil is that he's dealing with, snow on a television and the interference it causes.
Yeah, he can't see.
Poor Matt Murdock.
Yeah. He needs to see the vibrations, but he can't with the snow.
Exactly. Yeah. So when he comes upon a group of thugs,
they beat the ever-living crap out of him.
It's bad news bears for Matt Murdock.
Yep.
But he comes back,
and which bad news bears? Because there's like 4 of them.
It's all of the bad news bears.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Even goes to Japan? That was the worst of the bunch, by the way.
This was a really good story, and I enjoyed the art. It was my first foray into a Daredevil book, and I've got to say, it has me wanting to read more.
It was really nice art, I will say that.
It was nice art, the story was good, it kept me wanting to see more. And I didn't feel lost, which I always enjoy a book that has a long-standing history that a new reader can pick up and enjoy without having to feel like they need to do some hardcore research. So,
always a good thing.
If you're looking for a place to start with Daredevil, I really strongly recommend this because it's a good story, it's got good art, and they bring you in very nicely.
Alright, next up we have John Carpenter's Asylum #1.
It's a crazy book.
It is. It's very, very crazy. And in this one, there's a war coming to the City of Angels. Demons are lurking while Lucifer bides his time. And only one man knows the truth of what is going on.
John Carpenter?
Actually, he has nothing to do with this book whatsoever. But anyway, only one person knows what's actually going on with these demons and monsters now attacking the streets of Los Angeles. And it's not who you think it might be. But anyway.
It's not John Carpenter, but you're not going to tell us who it is.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Because that will spoil the whole book, pretty much. So, anyway. This was odd. #1, like I said, John Carpenter really has nothing to do with this book. It's just, his name was on it.
How do you know he has nothing to do with the book?
Because I read the credits. But what about Justin Bieber?
Is it Justin Bieber that can save the world?
I certainly hope not.
I'm gonna guess that he's on the other side of that battle.
Yeah. No, he'll be the first to die. But anyway, I will say this. The art here is really nice. It is a beautiful painted style to it, and it works really well for the almost downright depressing looks of the streets and everything, and these characters who are just, well, pretty much down and out. So I like that.
It was creepy and scary.
It was, and that's why it works so well. Story-wise, it also bounces all over the place and really kind of lacks in the story department. It just wants to jump right into it without giving you a lot of backstory, and you're going to need it because these characters, you're supposed to, I think, know who they are, and that's kind of hard to do when you're not introduced to them properly. So I can't highly recommend it unless you're maybe a John Carpenter fan, even though he really had nothing to do with this. But it's still a fun book.
I'm going to jump in and make note that there is some mature content in this book.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of nudity, there's a lot of gore, there's a lot of stuff for adults. So,
yes.
Yeah, this one is very mature.
Yes.
So, if you like John Carpenter stuff, like Halloween and whatnot, then check this one out. It's about as mindless as that. So, yeah.
Alrighty. Last up for me this week, guys, is Astro City number 1.
Number 60.
And in this tale of Astro City, a tall, ornate set of golden doors has appeared hovering above the river in Astro City. And even the Iron Legion
Heaven's shown up.
Even the Iron Legion cannot penetrate these doors. That's all I'm going to tell you, because I would really like to leave other things for you to see yourselves. I will say that I enjoyed one of the characters, the first character we meet, I loved to bits and pieces, because he made me think of David Bowie from The Labyrinth. So that's all I heard, that's all I saw was David Bowie circa The Labyrinth.
The greatest Muppet ever. David Bowie's crotch in Labyrinth. You'll know when you watch.
Moving on. I also have a lot of praise to sing for the creative team on this book, because they come right out in the editorial at the back and say specifically that they've designed this book so that new readers can pick it up and enjoy it without having a lot of questions, which they succeeded in. I loved the book. Thing. The art was great. I had no questions. Everything was answered as it needed to be answered. The information was all laid out ready for you. And I cannot praise this creative team well enough for that. So, thank you guys for bringing us a new Astro City with Vertigo Press. And I think all of you viewers should check it out.
Alright, and last and certainly not least today, we have Transformers Prime Beast Hunters number 1, which leads into, well, this particular season of Transformers Prime.
I thought for sure you were going to say, which leads into Transformers Prime Beast Hunters number 2.
It also leads into that. But anyway, on Cybertron, as the Dinobots and other abandoned Transformers scrape out an existence deep under the surface, pretty much now Cybertron is devoid of energon, so they're scraping out an existence trying to survive. Mm-hmm. Dead bodies suddenly start showing up.
Like human bodies or Transformer bodies?
Transformer bodies, but they've been stripped of all energon.
I'm gonna blame Starscream.
Yeah, he doesn't show up in this.
Then I'm definitely blaming Starscream.
So now it's up to the Dinobots to try and find who the culprit is, and with these all mysterious bodies just showing up everywhere, being sucked of energon.
That sounds really good.
It's not bad. It's actually not bad. This is probably not the greatest looking Transformers book that I've seen in a while, because that was still Last Stand of the Wreckers for me. But this is actually a fun storyline that does tell you a bit of what's going on behind the scenes of the actual show, and I still had a lot of fun with it. Now, yeah, as you can see, Starscream's on the cover. He does not show up on the book. So, will he show up in the book? I don't know. Because by this point, he should be on Earth. So, it's going to be an interesting go in this story of just how characters show up and possibly go back to Earth or not go back to Earth. So I'm having fun with this one. It's not the best Transformers story I've read, still last in on the records for me, but I still had a lot of fun with it, and as a Transformers Prime fan, you're probably going to enjoy it as well. Alright, so that brings us to the close of another exciting episode. Be sure to like us, thumbs up us, etc. Comment, give us your ideas on what we can do for episode 250, because we're only a few weeks away. So we will see you next week. Have a good one.